Hello there and welcome to today's video where I'm going to show you how I changed the cabin filter in my 2011 Nissan Frontier. My Frontier is the SV Crew Cab model, but the model doesn't matter because the filter replacement is pretty much the same for all 2005 to 2021 Frontiers, regardless of the trim package. There is one minor difference between the years, which I will detail in the video, but stick around and you'll see just how easy and important it is to change your cabin air filters. Now before we get started, I wanted to let you know that in every Frontier owner's manual there is a maintenance and DIY section. There's a lot of useful and good information in that section of the owner's manual, and if you want to read them, the official Nissan factory instructions for the cabin air filter replacement are included in that section of your owner's manual. Although I will warn you, the graphics are not the best. With that in mind, here are the tools and supplies you will need, and for this job they're minimal. I like using a mechanic's magnet to help with installing the new filters in the housing. And the one I'm using here has the magnetic tip removed. And of course, you need the new filters. You can get these from your local auto parts store or order them online. I can tell you from my research that the filters are identical for the model years 2005 to 2021, so it doesn't matter which year you have, the same filters are used for all years. Now let's get started. The first step in the process is going to be to open up the glove box as you normally would. Now the glove box will only open up to a certain point, and that's because there are knobs on both sides that limit how far it opens. You need to release these knobs from the trim housing so that you can open it further. To do this, you gently pull on each side of the glove box and down slightly on the front cover at the same time. With the knobs freed, the glove box will extend down and you can easily access the cover of the filter housing. If you look inside the glove box and over to the right side, there it is, the rectangular plate. You can see there's two mechanisms for holding the cover on. In the 2005 to 2008 models, there was a bolt and a nut that were used here. But in the 2009 and newer models, there is a tab on the housing that inserts into a slot on the access cover. If you have the newer version, be careful when you lift up on the tab because they break very easily. For mine, it has a tab, which is actually slightly broken, so I'll lift up on the tab and pull out on the cover to remove it. The next step is to remove the existing filters. I like to pinch down on the corner of the first one to get a good hold on it. And once you got a good grip, you can begin to pull it out of the housing. It should come out pretty easy. The second filter is a little bit trickier because it's recessed into the right of the opening. But once again, if you pinch on the corner and pull it towards the driver's side, it should slide over and pull right out. Now with the old filters removed, let's unbox the new filters and check them out. And when you open the box, there should be two filters, and they typically have directional arrows on them for installation. And it looks like the first filter has the arrows. Now let's take a look at the second filter and make sure that it has the arrows as well. Yep, there they are. Now I always like to compare the old filters to the new filters before installation. First to make sure that they're the same size, and second to make sure that they actually need to be replaced. And here they are side by side. As you can see, the old filters were definitely in need of replacement. Let's head back over to the truck for the installation of the filters. And here's the first filter going in. Make sure that the arrows are face down when you insert the filter into the housing. And this first filter might be a little bit tough to get in, again, because it's recessed to the right. But if you push down or push in on the right side of the filter, it should start to slide over. And this is where I like to use the mechanic's magnet, or you can use a ruler or something like that. But I want to reach inside the housing here and push on that back part or that inside part of the filter. And this is to get it nice and square, first so that it's positioned correctly in there. But if you've done this right, the second filter, when it goes in, and here it is with the arrows down, the second filter will go in much easier if you've installed the first one correctly. And there it slides right in. Now you may notice that their fit is pretty snug on these, but that's okay. Now with the filters installed, it's time to put the access plate cover back on. Here you just line up the prongs in the bottom and reinsert the access tab into the cover plate. The last step is to reinsert the glove box back into the factory position. Now this requires getting those knobs on the glove box back inside the trim. In order to do this, just gently push on each side of the interior of the glove box while lifting up slightly on the front. With both knobs back in position, you can close the glove box and call it a day. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you have found the content useful and will consider watching other videos in the future. Until then, take care and happy frontiering.